Today we're going to look at single acting metric seals, how to identify them, and how to get the correct seal from your supplier. Okay, the seal supplier needs to know three things to give you the correct seal. They need to know the housing inside diameter, the housing outside diameter, and the housing length of the seal, which is the length of the housing measured parallel to the rod. Some metric seals will have the housing inside and outside diameter written on them, moulded on the back. They'll more than likely have the seal length moulded on them, but some have the housing length, which this one does in this case. This is a single acting rod seal, and we know it's a rod seal because it has two working lips, one on the inside and one at the front and one at the back. Okay, there's the first working lip there. Follow it right around there, and there's the other working lip, the front one. The front one does the sealing, and the rear one really helps stabilise the seal when it's in action, running it against the rod. Okay, now we need to measure, to get our inside diameter of the housing, we need to measure the rod that goes through the middle there. Okay, we don't have it, we know it's 20 mil. Next thing we need to do is measure the outside diameter of the housing. We don't have a gland to measure, they're a little bit difficult, you need special measuring calipers to do it well, but the seal dimensions are on our seal, and we know it says 20 by 26. We want to confirm that. We can just measure the cross section of this seal. Moving away from the second working lip, we measure across there, and we can see it's about a 3 mil cross section seal. It's a 3 mil cross section seal, so that's for a 20 by 26 housing. The final thing the seal supplier will need to know is the housing length. Now we can't judge the housing length, we don't have the housing, but what we're going to do, if you're going to turn this on its edge, we're going to measure the seal length. We're going to measure it like that, and we get a seal length of about 4.5, 4.7 millimeters. Okay. Now, traditionally the seal is 10 to 15% shorter than the housing, so we add about 15% onto that 4.7, we get about 5.5 mil, which is exactly the number that's stamped on the back of our seal, on the heel, which is the flat part facing us. That 5.5 mil is the housing length, and this is one of the few occasions where a company will mould the housing length of the seal housing on the seal.